So good afternoon, everybody, and thank you all for joining us. This is COMM 205 Media Literacy for Diverse Audiences. I'm Dr. Cubbage, and I'm joined by my students in my class. We have Isaac, Antoine, Raheem, Alasia, and Bryson is joining us. So welcome to all of you. We have a special podcast today. We are actually going to talk about a number of topics related to media. And those topics include television, video, and streaming services. We're going to talk about what's good in those, what our favorite streaming services are. We're going to talk about in segment 2 the impact of the media on interpersonal relationships. And then we're going to talk about the impact of media on Black standards of beauty or Black beauty standards. And then in segment 4, we're going to talk about sports and as it relates to the African American community. Each of our segments today are going to be 20 minutes. So we're going to do a special length podcast today. And so we'll get started as we are in segment number 1, and that is television and video streaming. So we'll start off with, what do you watch most, TV, video, or streaming?
Say one more time.
What do you watch most, TV, video, or streaming services?
What is a fire
watch
stick
streaming
fall under?
services.
Streaming
That was my
services?
streaming services. That's what I watch the most.
I watch YouTube.
Okay.
Same.
Or on the Fire Stick, I'm watching something that's on the streaming service. So streaming services.
Okay. So
Me
streaming
too.
services or YouTube is really what's most popular with you guys. Yeah.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So what's your favorite streaming service? What's the best one? The best app or the best service for you?
YouTube.
Yeah.
YouTube. It's you see a lot of uncut things. So I feel like that. I like documentaries, so I feel like YouTube has the best ones, and like the Netflix ones and everything. I feel like it's watered down.
Yeah.
So I feel like they're not really talking no dead honest truth about the things that's going on. So I tend to go to YouTube.
Yeah.
I
Okay.
say YouTube because I do YouTube. So for real, honestly, I watch YouTube all day, every day. So that's really the most frequent one for me as well. But if I don't watch YouTube, I'm watching Netflix or like Hulu for certain shows.
Yeah. So why do you like the ones that you chose the best? Like what's so special about that?
I think YouTube, you can just make more creative content on it. Like you get a different variety of things every day. Like one day it will be like a vlog type of day, or one day it will be like a challenge or something like that. I think that's why people are so fascinated by like just watching YouTube or having different descriptions to different people throughout the whole world. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm just speaking as a content creator myself, but I can't speak for them.
Yeah. So what is it? How about everybody else? Thank you, Raheem. How about everybody else? Why do you like your most watched streaming service the best? Like, what is it about it? What are the features, the content?
Mine would probably be Amazon Prime, and that's probably because you could do everything on Amazon Prime. You could also connect your premium channels like Stars to your Amazon Prime account. I personally use somebody else's Amazon Prime to watch Stars because I'm not paying for that. But they have a lot of the bootleg, like hood story movies too, and shows that I like to watch, where the plot advances rather quickly and the acting is terrible, but for some reason it keeps you engaged. So I can't find that on Hulu or anywhere else, but Amazon.
Okay. Nice. So you said you don't like to pay for Stars. Like, how do you get around that again? I mean, I don't want to put your business out there. Just like, what do you do?
I would hit anybody. So first of all, I have Fire Sticks, jailbroken Fire Sticks in every room, and then we have smart TVs. So when we used to have like cable in here, you know how you get like certain months where you get a discount or something off, whatever. So we used to have like Peacock and all that stuff, when we had the premium channels. But once we realized you can get everything on a Fire Stick, like even West Coast channels, Canada channels, everything, we cut all that off. Got Fire Sticks, and we have unlimited channels. I can watch all the sports packages for free, all of that. And then we have like some subscriptions for like HBO Max or BET Plus or something for shows that don't come on regular TV. So we still have a Netflix, still have Amazon Prime, HBO Max, BET Plus, that stuff for shows that you can't see on the Fire Stick. Everything else is pretty much we watch the Fire Stick.
Right. Got it. Right. That's nice. That's a nice little hookup, right? What else does
I say
everybody? Yes, Algie.
I say mine is probably HBO Max. HBO Max goes, it's probably the best one. So
Yeah.
to me, it has, so I'm not going to define each genre. Like mine is comedy, but I do like shows and stuff, so it works out.
Yeah. Nice. So
HBO Max is my favorite too.
really, so what's so special? Like, what
Yeah.
do you find special about HBO Max, Alasia?
For me, like I'm watching it right now. It's my favorite because it has like I'm a big DC fan. So it has all of my DC stuff on there. Like it has a whole bunch of Batman movies on there, the Justice League movies. It has the Batman series, like Batman animated series, Batman Beyond. And it has a lot of Cartoon Network stuff too, like Ben 10 Alien Force. There's a whole bunch of stuff on there that I really like. And that's why it's my favorite.
Okay. So did everybody answer? Bryson, what about you?
Well, I say YouTube because like I like to listen to like lectures, like spiritual teachers, and like because I like to watch movies and sometimes documentaries like the Kanye West one right now. So
Okay. That's good. So let me ask you this. Raheem actually creates content himself. He's a content creator on YouTube. But from your own perspective, what's missing from all of your streaming services that you would like to see streamed or content that you would like to see developed? You know, they have a thing where like if you want to see something developed and you don't see it, develop it yourself or maybe reach out and ask somebody to create it. Like what's not out there that you would like to see? What kind of programs would you like to see that you don't
Me,
that aren't there now?
me personally, I know for me, I would just like to see people honest opinions. Like that's something I would like to see. I feel like a lot of people hold back their honest opinions because of the fear of being judged by the next group of people. So I feel like that's holding back a lot of the content creators right now. Because if you put your real opinion out there, you could become irrelevant, or they could, what is it? What is
Cancel.
it? Yeah, cancel you,
Yeah.
delist you. I feel like it's putting people in a bad spot, and they just. But that's why everybody putting out the same content. Like you got your gamers, they all playing the game. Man, they need to show how you really play the game. Like ain't nobody on there like, oh man, I just do it and it's like, no, I'm cussing people out. Like I feel like people are holding back. So that's what I want to see, like people real self, to be honest, authentic.
Give me an example of like what that would look like. Like what's somebody's real self? Like what do you mean? Elaborate.
So I feel like it would look like for example, like I said, if I'm playing a game, if I'm playing Call of Duty, I'm not gonna only post my game where I go 50-2. Like it's some games you gonna have a bad game, and if I had that bad game, I'm gonna talk my stuff about it at the same time. So with that being the case, I feel like these streamers are not doing that. They only posting the edited clips. Like me, I'm gonna post my good, my bad, my mediocre, and everything. I just be authentic. Like I don't even know like how to tell people be real. Like just be real, to be honest.
Right. That makes sense. And that's good. That's video gaming, and Alasia could relate to that because she does gaming. We talked about that on Monday. I'm also speaking about what kind of content, like like series, like
So
television
I could
series.
back that one.
Yeah,
I could back
yeah,
that one up with like a movie. I would say when you say authentic, or I would say be unapologetic too. Like
yeah,
one of my favorite movies is The Ringer. Like nowadays you couldn't make a movie like that. Like
yeah. Tell us
you
about the
couldn't.
Ringer. What's the plot?
Um, Johnny Knoxville, he plays as basically he pretends like he's special,
Okay.
and he goes to the Special Olympics and he tries to compete to beat one of the guys in the Special Olympics who's won forever. He's won everything. So he kind of pretends like he's special, and it's hilarious. Um, but now I don't think you can make something like that in 2022. But
Right, because you would be considered inappropriate,
yeah,
right? Okay, so what
I
else?
would never make it to the screen.
No, what
But
else?
even if you think about Forrest Gump, because in some parts of Forrest Gump, it's hilarious, but you know he's special. So you couldn't get away with that in 2022. Like it would be a protest about
You in this movie?
the whole
Nah,
that's
man,
my
Forrest
favorite
Gump,
movie.
he be saying that every time.
Like
He brings that up every chance he get.
Now, every
I
chance
told,
he
what I
gets, he
tell you
be
at the
talking about
beginning,
Forrest
He
Gump,
said it was
six
his
bro.
weeks
favorite.
ago,
He said it was his
6 weeks
favorite.
ago, I told you it will relate to everything we talk about. And if I lie,
Nah,
Yep.
I'm trying
bro,
to
that's
tell you, it's my
cool.
favorite movie.
It's
But
just
think
funny
about the
that you
beginning
keep
of it, like.
mentioning Forrest Gump, bro. It's just funny.
But
Well,
think
that's
about
like
what I'm
Aunt
saying.
Janae and her
Even with
Chucky
his
doll.
mother, yeah,
Oh,
I have
yeah.
not
yeah, we
brought
ain't even
Chucky
talked about
up
that. See,
one time since that
you
one
got the whole
conversation.
Chucky doll. We ain't think that. I ain't say nothing about that being crazy. But
You can say what you want. He be chilling, like he be minding his business.
In the closet. Okay,
Yeah, no
so
cat. You got the Chucky.
Alasia, if you have some beef about, not beef really, but just something to say about Forrest Gump, what would you like to see? What else would you like to see made that's out there on a streaming service that's not there? Is it related to gaming, or is it to just a content like a program or a series? What would you like to see?
Well, as far as anything that I would like to see on a streaming service, I mean, I don't really complain about that because I have my ways. Like if I don't have a series on a streaming service, I can. It's so many illegal websites you can go on. Like it's one called Movie 7, and you got a couple anime websites too. So I don't complain about that. Oh, it's another thing called it's cartoon something, but it's a whole bunch of websites you can find that has everything.
Yeah,
So I
that
would
you would
I
like.
don't worry too much about that.
Okay. Would any Bryson, Raheem, what are your thoughts?
I was the first one to say something, but I got you. The question you said something about.
Like, what do you like to see changed? Like, stay with us. There's multiple questions in this segment. You know that. So I'm asking now,
No, I
what would
hate
you
it.
like to see? What would you like to see created in content,
Me
streaming media?
personally, I would like to see more so what Algie said, like more content where people. Well, no, it was Isaac. More content where people are just realistic. Like my favorite comedy specials are the ones from like back in the day, like Eddie Murphy Raw and Delirious and stuff like that. And if he were to make something like that today, like he would be canceled without questioning. Like especially when it comes to the gays and the transgenders and all
Dave
that stuff,
Chappelle. Yeah.
canceled. Like you can't talk about them. And that's why I love Dave Chappelle's, not the last one, but the one before that, where he talked about the LGBT community. But if you really listen to what he was saying, he was speaking truth. It was like, it's nothing wrong with them. It's just the society today, like, I don't know what it is. Like they base everything around inclusion, which is not bad. It's just when somebody's feelings are hurt, they take it to the extreme to try to get this person canceled. And it's like everybody's feelings get hurt, especially with a comedian. Like if you sit front row at a comedy show, they're liable to say anything about you, your date. Like it has nothing to do with your sexual preference, anything. That's what a comedian does. Like they make light of a situation. And I feel like he got they tried to blackball him for that, and that was proving his point. So in my mind, he was a genius for what he did for that specific comedy special because they proved his point. And like they wanted Netflix to drop him and everything, and he ended up making a whole new segment, getting more
They
money.
too sensitive. They too sensitive, especially that group. I feel like they throw the punches but can't take them back. But that's my opinion.
Ooh, yeah, 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 yeah. No, I hear you. I feel you. Yeah, yep, yep, yep. Bryson, what do you have to say?
Like any changes that I want to see,
Yeah,
I can't really think of any. Only thing I could think of is like, only thing I don't like seeing. I know I don't like seeing is like seeing like slave movies. I don't like seeing it. That's the only
right.
thing. Go.
Why don't you like slave movies? Well, we all know why we don't like them, but let's talk about that here.
You said why?
Well, yeah,
I mean, that's like when people think of like Black history, that's really what really comes up the most, you know. And it's like it's more to us than that they
oh,
don't show us, you know.
that part. Yes, that part, that part.
Technically, that's not just Black history. That's white history, white American
Mm.
history.
Oh,
They're not saying that.
say that.
Yeah.
Yes, 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 yes. Okay.
Okay,
I
then,
think
Anthony, don't shoot at us, Lord.
I feel like
But
they
nah,
use these movies to acculturate us. But Raheem, go ahead. What were you gonna say?
like yeah, like I was saying, with Isaac, he really hit it right on the spot for me. I think more content isn't really like real now. It just
Yeah.
seems like everybody is like faking their content. As far as YouTube, it's a lot of content creators right now that fake their videos. Like I personally know people right now who are actually friends of mine who are like either paying somebody to say or do a certain act to make it seem like they're doing something they're not on the internet. And
Mhm.
I personally don't like working with them because of that simple reason right there. If I feel as though that your content is not genuine or like it's just not realistic for me knowing you personally, then I don't need to work with you.
Mm.
And I feel as though if I'm gonna blow up on something that it's gonna be 100% real, not
Yeah, I
just
don't like
me.
seeing that stuff neither.
Huh? Say it
So,
again.
No, I was saying I don't like seeing like fake stuff either. But that's stage. Like that's obviously stage.
Right.
I like seeing that.
yeah,
Exactly.
yeah,
So that's really just a pet peeve of mine. But I can't really speak for everybody when it comes down to what they really like seeing like that. But I just don't like seeing it.
yeah. So before we end this segment, we got about 4 minutes left. What is everybody's favorite show on streaming? Like what's hot right now? Like what's your favorite show or shows?
I
Right
don't
now, I'm
have
watching.
a favorite show. I don't have a favorite show, but the shows that are really trending right now is like Euphoria and Power and what's the other shows? Euphoria and Power are really the only ones I'm seeing right now. But
Okay.
on
Yeah, I'm
HBO
on.
Max, the shows that
I would say Righteous Gemstones on
Okay.
HBO. That's my favorite show. It's
Okay.
hilarious.
I'm
Okay.
on Hulu. I'm on Hulu right now. I'm watching 911. I started watching 911. That's a cool little show.
Yeah.
Right now I'm on Netflix, so I'm watching. I just finished watching The Tender Swindler like last week.
Yeah.
That's a whole different conversation because everybody thinks he's the villain. I think he's a genius. And now I'm watching Inventing Anna, and she's too a genius. But that's just me.
Okay. Why are these shows your favorites? Like what about them like just makes them pop for you all?
Me personally, with those two, I have a I don't know. I have a vendetta against people who are just like slow, not like
Special
mentally
needs slow.
handicapped, but
Yeah.
like not special needs. No, but like when you don't have common sense, I feel like at this point, at your grown age, you deserve what comes to you. So when he was swindling these grown, able women out of hundreds of thousands of dollars, the whole time I'm like, that's your fault. Like you are slow. Something's wrong with you. This don't even make sense. So if a finesser can finesse, that's what he's going to do. He did his job.
Mm. Wow. Say
Like
that. Say that. Say that. Wow. So what show is
I've
this?
been watching the Kanye film or the little documentary on Kanye.
Oh,
That's what I like to watch.
so
We
what's
have it on
Kanye
YouTube.
talking about? What's his film? What's his
It's
documentary?
just following like basically his upbringing like through the industry basically like how he like produced some of his greatest hits and like worked with some of the best artists.
Like the evolution. His
Yeah,
evolution.
it
Wow.
really
Nice.
wasn't evolution. It was more so him trying to break into as a rap artist. He was already a successful producer when he was recording
yeah.
that.
Mm. Nice.
Yeah, 911. I mean, it's cool. It's telling about how the operators is, and like Antoinette said, I said yeah, Antoinette, like she said, I like the lean towards the shows where the villain is actually the good person. That's why I probably like Black Panther is like up there from one of my favorite movies. Like Michael B. Jordan, Shorty
Yeah,
was not wrong. Like he wasn't wrong in my opinion. I ain't gonna lie.
I agree. I
You
agree.
feel me? Like,
Killmonger. Yeah, he was a hero. He was.
yeah, he was our Mountain Max. He was the Mountain Max to be honest.
Yes. For
You know,
real.
that's how I felt that. I mean, Black Panther was cool, but you feel me? I feel like he still was doing. He was still a little puppet to be honest, but that's why I like Killmonger. But those are the shows that I'm watching right now.
So it sounds like we got a minute left, 1 minute before we move to the next segment. You all like raw and real revolutionary kind of content. And what you like, for people to keep it real, keep it 100, and for there to be some sort of revolutionary themes in it. I mean, you like what you like, but if these elements are there, then that's better. You think we'll be able to see some of this in the future? You think there's people out there who will create something like this in addition to
Absolutely
what's out
not.
there?
Absolutely not.
No,
Because
because
the fear of being canceled will always be in the back of your head.
right. So what about the alternative services? I want you to think about that rhetorically because we only have 16 seconds left. But think about the people who are alternative content creators who have no fear. They're just out there doing what they do, right? Can you find any of those?
I mean, if we can, we can't because they're not being put out there. So
Yeah,
Got it.
mainstream media not gonna see him.
Got it. On that note, the segment is ended. We now have moved to segment 2, and that is the impact of media on interpersonal relationships. Hot topic. How does the
Lord,
media, in your estimations, how does the media impact interpersonal relationships?
these false hopes and these fake realities, that's what it's doing.
False
It's
hope and
making,
fake reality.
it's giving you compare pockets. How you gonna compare your pockets? First off, you live in a 2 bedroom. You gonna compare your pockets to Jay-Z? That don't even make sense. Don't even. Uh, it's okay if you can't afford roses. Buy sunflowers. They cheaper. Stay in your lane.
But nah, I think social media, it has just been like ever since it's been like really popular.
Wait a minute. Hold up. We're not on that question yet. How does the media
Oh
impact
snap! I'm
interpersonal
tripping. What you say?
relationships? How does the media impact interpersonal relationships? Isaac answered. I want everybody else to tell me what
Oh
else.
well,
False hopes.
yeah, it's about the same thing as me. I think
Anybody?
me and Isaac just think alike, bro.
Okay, but who else has a different thought? Anybody else?
I would say that it leads to a lot of relationships that aren't necessarily built on love, but more so on what can you do for me and what can we show that we do for each other. So it's
Mm-hmm.
like it's more for
Material.
theatrics and for show than it is like I really click with you, I bond with you. And it's not just relationships, it's some friendships too. Like it's just some girls will see a girl that's like trending, that's hot, and then out of nowhere they're like, "Oh, I want to hang with her. Like, let's link up, let's do this." Y'all have nothing in common. You just want to hang with her because if you tag her in a post, then people will be trying to be on your line, and then it's like, it's weird. Like
Mm.
social media is really weird when it comes to relationships. That's why I'm kind of like weary about meeting friends offline because it's like if we don't have nothing in common, what are we trying to link up for? But if we're
Mm.
networking, something that's different. But if it's just like, oh, I like the way you dress, or I like who you be around, and I want to hang with you, so I can be around those people, or get involved with that group. It's weird.
Yeah, yeah. No, I understand. So anybody else?
So I say definitely, movies also gives a false perspective, false
Yeah,
perspective of reality. A lot of
yeah.
times people try to live up to what they see in the movies, whatever. And it's just not real. We talked about it a couple weeks ago. You just gotta know your person.
Hey, get your hand off the
And
mic, bro.
that's reality.
You heard me?
Algie,
Oh
he said
wow,
for
I
you to
think it's
get
an
your hand off the
AirPod.
mic. You're muffled a little bit.
Oh, it's alright. This is AirPod.
Okay. All
Um,
It's
right.
the win.
So right,
oh, the wind too. Yeah, right.
so why do you think social media is so relevant in today's relationships? Like everything is on social media, and we talked about this when we had our podcast about love a couple weeks ago, early in February. Um, Social media can be a big thing. It could be a good or it can be negative. But why do you think it's so relevant? Like everything is on social networking. Why is that?
Everybody just want to be seen. Honestly,
Yeah,
I
everybody,
think
because
everybody just want to be seen. Everybody just want to be the next big thing. Everybody want the relationships to be perfect. That's just really where everybody lacks.
Yeah, everybody's seeking that validation. Everybody's seeking validation from the next person. And it's just like, and I know right now in our generation, I done heard people say if you don't post your partner, you probably cheating on them type stuff. So like that's really goofy to me. Like why me posting you? Why does that show
Why
you
do you
if
have
I
to
love you, if I post you?
And if we being real, the people that post their followers, like their partner the most, be cheating the most. Like they'll be in everybody DM,
That's
embarrassing
not
the girl
true.
on their page or the dude on their page. Like it's not that deep.
That is
I'm
not
never
true.
posting my accomplishments. I don't post who I deal with. I don't post none of that. I post what I want the world to see. If you see me outside with this person,
I,
I'm seeing with you. If you know me, then you know who I'm with. You know what I'm doing. But I don't post
that
everything for everybody to see and know. Like that's too much for me.
Yeah.
Right. And
man, you think they cheat the most? You think they cheat the most?
they do. I ain't gonna lie to
Married
you.
men and
That's
these
why. That's why.
newlyweds and these new fathers and all cheat the most. I can tell you.
Yeah, I personally had a bad experience with a girl who had a baby father, bro. I don't like girls that have babies, bro. Like it's just crazy to me. Like them girls be cheating. I ain't gonna lie.
And
Yo,
my
you gotta,
girlfriend
yo,
got
that's
on me the
crazy.
other day because I ain't posted.
But your
But
admirer,
I
but
got
your
I got one
admirer.
exception for a lady in the wellness center.
Okay, because I was going to say
I was
she
just
showed
about
us
to
her little
say
one, her little baby.
And boy, and her baby
Yeah.
fresh out. He fresh out too. So that the spark could still be there.
Not the spark.
If it
uh,
looked like a duck, quack like a duck, my friend, it's a duck. I ain't gonna lie to you.
I feel
Respect its
that.
attention.
Raheem is just drawn to a certain kind of woman. That's what it is.
Yeah, like she my type of woman. I like her.
Oh,
She
okay.
gonna be
But
Boy, you don't even know your type right now. Trust me,
man.
you don't know
She
your
know
type
me,
right
bro.
now.
Stop saying like I'm delusional, bro.
oh, you saw her
Boy, you
giving
better
you
shut up.
the eye
Man,
on the
she was giving
podcast.
me the time of day, man. It's cool.
Okay, well,
that's
Oh, she was messing to you.
I'm gonna send you her email when we get off. I'm gonna send you her email so you can reach out to
I
her,
bet, and I'm gonna email her.
or you can swing past the wellness
And
center
I'm
and say hey,
scared.
what's up to her. Okay, so the next question is: do you feel like friendships and couples function better without social media? Because y'all talk about the people that be on here.
Yes,
Is it better to just not have it at all? Why?
yes, yes. Cause now it just seems like we were saying, everybody's seeking validation from somebody else. If you don't have social media, you gotta go back to how it was before social media. We didn't have I mean, it just seemed like relationships, like everybody was friends with each other. People wasn't really beefing. How they really beefing now? Everything. It just seemed like everybody wants to reminisce and go back to like days before we had social media. You know, those were the best times. But I wish I was a little bit older to really experience that. But I was young when we didn't have no social media, so it was like I don't really remember. But I just think that we just eliminate so many problems that we have today. I just think social media is just not really needed.
it
Mm.
was a first time when we didn't have it. But I feel like in relationships, friendships, it really probably doesn't matter unless you have a friend that's like obsessed with it. But relationships, I feel like it would be better without it because it gives people a chance to cheat in peace. And when I say that, I'm not excusing cheating. I'm just saying, hear me out. I'm just saying a lot of people like to say social media is to blame for their relationship failing. I don't think social media is to blame because if your partner wants to cheat, if your partner wants to do XYZ, they're going to do that regardless. I dated people without social media. I dated people with social media. And if you just trifling, you just trifling. So it is what it is. But when your partner or you don't have a social media, you're less likely to see it in your face. You're less likely to react to stuff. You're less likely to jump to conclusions. You're less likely to be involved with mess and drama because it's not consuming you on a day-to-day basis. Like me personally, I'm an out of sight, out of mind person. So if I don't see it, I'm not thinking about it. But if I know I have a partner and he has social media, I don't follow him. Not because I think he's cheap, just because I know I'm like a possessive person. And if I see anything that looks like flirting, it's going to trigger me. And then I'm going off over something that's so small. So I don't follow him on social media. Live your best life. Just don't let nothing get back to me, and don't embarrass me. That's my only thing. Do not embarrass me. If you embarrass me,
That's a red flag.
In what
violence.
way?
That's a red flag, though. I ain't
What's
gonna
the
lie.
red flag? What's
I
the red
mean,
flag?
hey, if you trust your man like that, I salute you. But
See,
I'm
that's the thing. When I was
personally,
Raheem's age, I was like that. I was like, I need to follow you. I need to see what you're doing day to day. First of all, we got jobs, we got stuff we got to do. I don't really even care to know your whole breakdown day by day. 9 times out of 10, if I go to his page, it's sports anyway. And I don't want to read about that all day. Like, I don't care. And then it's like, once you get older, you realize like social media is just not it. I post and get off. So me just seeing like the same people that I talk to, I pretty much look at the same people that I talk to on a daily stuff anyway. So it's like, it's not that big of a deal for me to follow you. It's really not. And I feel like dudes, like, they try to, just from my experience, they try to post stuff like a future song or something like that and be like, oh, it's just lyrics. These lyrics will get you hurt. So I can't follow you because I'm going to relate everything to what we're going through. Like, that's just me. I know how I am. So for me, it's best you have your own social media. You can follow me. I don't care, but I'm not following you. Like, that's just me.
Man, my
And
girl got my login information and all that. She be stalking my
exactly.
likes, man.
And real talk. And I think
Wait,
Raheem, you just
stalking your
basically
life.
proved what Raheem, you basically just proved what I was saying for real. Like it's like you see how you came with that broad statement, like, yeah, I can't do it. Like different stuff works for different people, you feel me? Like and when people understand that, you feel me, like the world would be a better place. But people don't understand that everybody want everybody to do the same thing. Like like if she don't follow her man, that might work for their relationship. You might need to follow yours that works for your relationship. Like it depends
hey,
on
I'm
who
gonna
you
do that
dealing
one,
with.
bro. I don't know why you saying it like that,
No,
but
no, no, no. I'm just speaking the truth. No, but believe it or not, that mindset you have, it ain't gonna do nothing but grow, and it's gonna carry over into your next relationship. You feel me? Like,
I mean, I feel
it's
as
it's
though
clear,
that
bro.
like,
It's clear, bro. If somebody broke your heart, bro. Everybody get their heart broke. Bro. It's okay.
nah,
Like
ain't none of that.
it
Ain't
happens.
none of that. It's
You
just
feel
more
me?
so a trust thing. Like she said,
Yeah,
she trusts her man. That's why I'm not bashing her about it. She trusts her man to not, you know. She was just saying how people gonna cheat regardless of the fact,
real
which is
talk. They
true,
gonna do. They gonna
right?
do what they gonna do.
But if you don't know nothing about a situation, you don't know nothing about a situation, nobody's gonna relay that message to you, even if they are cheating. So that's what I'm saying. Nobody's
But
gonna
that's what
tell.
trust comes in. So if you truly trust somebody, you ain't gonna be worried about it. Then that means you don't trust the person.
But if she is blind and she don't know what, like,
Hold on,
I'm
hold on,
sorry,
hold on, hold on, hold on. You have it
but
confused. I'm never blind. And then on top of that, I'm a woman.
nah, listen.
We
All right,
that y'all
okay.
don't
It
have.
doesn't
We
mean
have
none of this
intuition.
in no
I can sense when
disrespectful
something is
manner.
off and going on, and then I'll look for it. With
Man,
me, just
women, y'all do not have
that like
intuition, man. Fake
that
Nah,
intuition
nah.
stuff.
I
That is
gotta
made
agree.
up.
I gotta agree with Isaac on that. Y'all ain't got no intuition, man.
You
Y'all,
don't have no
Oh, wait a
intuition, man.
minute.
What are you
Nah, my
Wait
talking
a
mama
about?
do.
minute.
My mama
Wait
be
a
knowing,
minute.
boy.
Now,
some
wait a
women
yo,
will
minute.
that
Wait a
same
minute.
intuition that they
Wait a
have,
minute. Wait a minute.
we
My
have.
mama
It's
got that
called a
intuition. I'm
gut
trying to tell
feeling.
you.
It's called you are sloppy. It's called
Everybody has a gut feeling, though.
right.
But
So,
Man, you ate
but
something that made your
ours,
stomach
but
agitated
ours
that day.
is
You ain't got no
stronger.
guts, man.
Ours is not
I'm
only
trying to
stronger,
tell you
but
it's
we're in.
scientific
Hold it,
proof
hold it, hold it,
behind
hold
it.
it. Let me
Like
interject.
real
Let me
for
interject.
real.
No, wait a minute. Ours is stronger. And we talked about the bonding hormone of oxytocin. And when a woman is bonded to you, then she that's what it means to be bonded. So that means everything that you're doing, we have a sixth sense about. And it's stronger in women than it is in men. This is scientifically proven, everybody. Algie, you shaking your head. No, it
It's called a
is.
stomach
nah.
ache. It's called a stomach ache.
Some women
It
will choose
is.
to ignore
It
it
This,
though.
is.
Some
Not a
women will really
stomach
just
ache.
It's not a stomach ache. It is not cramps either.
Bruh, but
It's
some women will
intuition.
realize
nah, I feel you.
I'm
Cause
telling you.
my mother know. My mother be nine. I ain't gonna lie. My
That's what
mother
I'm
be
saying.
nine.
My mom be
But
knowing too.
I ain't gonna,
Boy, she
the
be
one
yeah,
thing
my
knowing.
that
mother
we
be
all
Can't
are
nine.
never
saying,
pass her.
the one thing that we all are saying is the intuition that a mother has with their child. I cannot deny that.
Women
Yeah,
But
because
are
but
mothers.
mothers are always right
but
for the
when a
most
woman
part.
just walks to me and say, "I know you're doing something because I can feel it," You crazy.
Right. That's
You
exactly
crazy.
what I'm trying
You
to
ain't doing
express to
nothing.
No,
y'all.
And you
she's
Right?
trying
messing
to
up
bait
everything
you.
because you
She's trying to bait
paranoid.
A
you.
lot
She's
of
trying to bait
relationships
you.
are ending because of insecurity, bro. Do y'all not
Yeah.
understand that?
No, that's true. That's
You
Exactly.
true.
just sat here
So
and said
you're
you have to
saying,
follow her day by day. That's not part of insecurity.
oh, you're
Now I
not
But
had somebody
understanding.
tell
Bryson,
me
wait a
one
minute,
time
wait a minute,
that I
Bryson,
You're
you
not
that I
said
was
hearing me.
that I was
your
angry and
girlfriend
I do the
stalks your
most. Like
life.
you
Let's
can't.
talk about that.
Ooh,
No,
I ain't say that.
I
No,
was saying my
Bryson, not
I was,
Raheem.
Oh,
I was saying my girlfriend got my login information to my Instagram. She be stalking my likes, boy.
Thank you.
I used
that's
to have
That's
that.
weird.
three, and I'm in
Just
that
to let
field
you
too.
know.
So that's three. That's three of
But
us on here going through the
I'm not gonna
same
lie. I'm
problem.
not gonna lie though. Like it's kind of my fault because I wasn't always perfect, the perfect boyfriend. So that's all I'm gonna say on that though.
Mm,
Exactly. That's why.
okay.
Oh,
So you gave her a reason not to trust you.
Hey, all
Is
right.
what
Exactly.
you're
So hold
saying.
up.
All right,
Can I
Oh,
say
it's
one
getting
thing though?
personal. It's
Can I
getting
say one
personal.
thing
Hey,
though?
we gotta
Can
go
I
to the
say
next
If
one
subject,
thing
Hey,
though?
hey, Bryson, I ain't
if
gonna
you
lie,
have a
getting
Bryson.
personal,
reason,
Dr.
I would
Coverage.
act like that. If I don't have a reason, I'm not off the bat about to stalk your life. Like, live your best life. I didn't stalk your life before we got together. I'm not about to do all that.
Oh, pause.
I'm glad you said that. I'm glad you said that, right? Because one thing, all right, say what for instance, we all say we gave our girl our password, whatever. Why we did that? Same reason. Everybody ain't do the right thing. But the one thing I can bet you out of probably four guys out of here, 4 out of 4, is none of us grabbed that phone and digged for anything.
No,
hell
And like
exactly,
and like you
boy.
said earlier, you got a ticket to
Exactly.
cheat in peace. So most of the time we just don't look.
I don't want to
Oh,
know.
It is
look.
the
I
other way
don't want
If
Are
around.
I
you
see
to
saying
some,
women
it's
cheat better than never?
over.
I've never cheated. I'm just saying.
That
right.
is a lie.
We could
I
I
don't
find
swear,
think, I
something. We
don't,
could
I
find
never heard
something
that's
there
a
to argue
lie.
about.
I
I
She
don't
swear
was
think
I've
talking
my
about she
heart,
Time I
never
got my
cheated.
pocket
Can
is
I
just a
ask y'all a
lie.
question?
never cheated.
I don't think my heart can take it. I ain't going.
Bro,
Hey, Isaac, you feel
so
it
Bless
can't.
his
Ashley, you
Don't
heart.
ain't
do it,
never,
bro. Let it alone.
Don't try to get somebody in on your side.
That's what I'm
No,
telling you. That stomach ache. That
You
stomach
said
ache.
you
We all get
nah,
that,
said
man. That's not
that she
little
did cheat.
intuition.
No,
Cause
His
it,
I'm
I
gonna
think
idea
bury
I'm
is
you.
right.
I'm gonna
misunderstood.
bury
And
you
my
black. I ain't
question,
gonna
if
lie. I'm
you
gonna
Leia
bury
feel
you.
just
some
cut you
type
off.
of way,
She'll just cut
if
you off. She ain't gonna cheat on you. She just cut you off. That's all.
thank
Right?
you, I would move
nah,
on.
but
Like,
it's not that. Because
I'm trying
girls
to
are way
tell
more
you.
sneakier than men. If you really want to
That's
Oh,
what
be
they
I
honest,
say.
agree.
no.
let's
I
go.
agree
What
with
if
that.
Women do it.
I
but
agree with
like
that.
Wait a minute.
that's
We're
the
It's
better
not
thing.
sneaky.
even. It's not
We're
even a thing
better
about
sneaky.
being
Wait, can I
sneaky.
say
Can I,
something?
Yes,
yeah,
go
go ahead. I'm
ahead.
Professor,
sorry.
is
Wow, wow.
scientifically proven. It is scientifically proven. Anything a man can do, a woman can do 20 times better.
Right.
My mo-
That doesn't mean
my
So
mother with
more.
an
so
intuition
That
told me
doesn't mean
that.
amount.
But
Better
but
does
the
not mean
thing
amount.
is that just
Women
because
are
we can
better
do it better
sneaks,
does
but
not
they don't
mean
sneak
we
more
are on
often.
the level of doing it that y'all do it. Every woman that I
No,
know
I'm
that
if you're
mm,
is I
entertaining
do
somebody
not
else
cheat.
after an argument with your man, you're a cheater. If you are entertaining anybody while in a relationship, that is cheating. If anything that
I
yeah,
we
agree.
do
that's
are
cheating.
I agree.
cheating.
If you
What do
do
you
anything that you are scared to tell your partner that you're doing, to me, that's cheating. That's even if you talking to a girl and
bro?
you know your girl will be mad and you don't tell her. To me, that's cheating. I
That
agree.
is
I
that's
completely
lies
agree.
by
That's not say I
omission.
don't cheat. You
Lies
can
by
take your
omission.
phone. You can have the
You're not.
login information. I'm not pressed to see your stuff. If you want to see my stuff, I don't care. You're gonna look dumb because I don't cheat.
I got one thing to say and I'll leave it alone. I would say women aren't better at it. If I would just say, if you get a man that likes a woman enough and she's married and she tell him to call me at 3 o'clock and don't say nothing, he gonna do it.
Exactly. They just be
If you
honest,
tell
yo.
a
We be
woman, if you
lying. They
tell
be
a woman to do
honest. They
that
tell the
at a
truth.
certain point in time, it's not gonna happen. It's not. She gonna call you, oh you mine, da da. No, you crazy. You know what I'm saying? The other way around, that guy gonna fall in line. He gonna stay in line. Look on social media right now. You'll see even
It's not my
anything.
fault
You'll
that y'all
find
are
it.
easy.
It's not easy. It's just guys are hungry
And
for
it'll be
one
the
thing,
people
and
that
women
you
are
least
hungry for more.
expect too. Like, what are you
It's
It
saying?
twenty
Like,
do.
times. Y'all
it'll be
20
the
times
people
better
that
than us. We
y'all
just
just
want a different
don't
thing. Like they
expect
said, but
that behavior from.
I mean, up y'all standards. Stop being okay with being the same.
Nah, now it's upstanding. See, all right, next topic, bro. Next topic.
No.
Nah, next.
Right. I'm
Let's
with
go.
Antoinette. I'm with Antoinette. Y'all
Nah,
just
bro.
out here trying to get sloppy seconds and you need to put the time in the quality relationship. Put the
Ain't
time in.
no
You gotta put
sloppy
in the work.
seconds, bro.
Put in the work. You always out here roving around. The grass is always green on the side that you water it on. Don't we know this by now?
We been knew that though. Dr. Cubbage is
Okay,
just like,
It's Raheem is so young, and I just like
stop. I'm not even the youngest in here.
I know you're
I'm
not the youngest here, but I'm just saying he has
Oh
so
wait,
much.
I'm the youngest in here.
She's the youngest.
He hasn't really lived
Only
in
by a
he
couple months.
hasn't even had a real relationship
Trying to
yet.
say that, man.
Like a real relationship. He probably isn't
Hold
on
up.
Alex level. He's probably not even on Isaac level yet. He just playing the field and playing around right now. So he the heartbreaker right now. He the one that's doing the damage right now.
If Bryson drives FedEx, he'll probably be out there getting ladies too on the side, because you know people be clocking the FedEx thing. They be like, "Oh, he got a nice job." Yeah.
How
I'm out
you
the
assuming
game.
he out here breaking
I'm out
hearts?
the
Raheem said
game.
be the one you least suspect. It be
Yo, they said my man out here
What paragraph
delivering
is that?
packages, yo.
Wait a
They
minute,
see
Raheem, what was that? What did you just show
I'm
us?
out
Yeah,
the
what was
game.
that?
Like we can read that. What?
Raheem, you did something to get that ECR. I don't care. You did
What is
something.
that?
Dang, she wrote
What
your
is
whole
that?
essay.
What is that?
Oh no,
That's
man,
a
you
Oh
gotta be the
nah.
heartbreaker then. He probably ain't
No.
even read all that.
But he
I did
replied
it.
though.
I did reply, but
And I
it
bet
was
he replied to one little section.
Boy,
That's
you
so
replied.
disrespectful. Why do men
Boy,
only
you
respond to one
replied.
section of a long paragraph?
Hello.
They find the most irrelevant
I
piece. Like
hate
you was out
that.
there, I seen y'all. You had the little blue freezy at the movie theater. It wasn't even blue.
And they be
Like
like, it
what?
wasn't even blue.
like,
All right, y'all. Wrap it up. Next section. Next section.
man, hold up, Paul. Look at this. Look at that compared to that.
That's
I don't be caring,
disrespectful.
dog.
That's how you
just
set a
ignored
girl
her. You
off.
might
You
as well
can't
not
do
even
that.
respond. That's a phone call. Really. Let's get real. All
I
right,
told
next
her.
section.
This is what I said. I said, man, I'm not arguing with you on this thing. You can call my phone. Hold on.
That's you did this. That's
I
a
don't know
menu
if y'all can
item
see that.
of all the stuff. But we on the next topic,
Man,
y'all.
forget it though, man.
The media,
I'm just showing
segment
you, bro.
3. Segment 3. Raheem, he's still on it. Segment 3, the impact of the media on Black beauty standards.
Can I go first?
Way? Yes. In what way does the media influence quote unquote Black beauty standards? Yes, Alasia, get at it.
Okay. So first, I mean, so it's definitely changed because back then it was in to be really thin. Like it was in to be thin. Everybody wanted to be thin. But now it's like, yeah, and light skin. So now light skin kind of is still it now, but it's better. But now as far as the beauty standards, you gotta be a certain way. You gotta have that hourglass figure. You gotta have a butt. You gotta or be thick or whatever. You gotta be like that. And it's so much so that like when people see you and you don't meet that beauty standard, meaning like you're typically just skinny or you don't have a butt, you don't have a chest, people will make fun of you for it. And I don't like that. I don't like that.
No, I ain't
And
gonna lie.
I deal with that all the time because I'm really skinny. Like I weigh like 108 pounds. I'm really skinny. So
Hey girl.
yeah, I'm really skinny. So it's like I obviously don't meet that beauty standard because I'm like really, really tiny. So it's like me and Antoinette, we would have to deal with that. People just constantly like, oh, you're so skinny, you're so this, just because we don't look like that typical beauty standard. And mind you, that beauty standard is unrealistic because half of these women out here get BBLs, their bodies aren't real. Like they want us to look like who got a fake body? They want us to be built like somebody like Nicki Minaj
Jada.
or
Jada.
Yes, or Jada
Waiter,
Waiter.
she's dead.
Or Ari. Yeah, Jada's beautiful. She's beautiful. She's really pretty. Or Ari.
Wait, who Jada?
That's little baby. That was little baby girlfriend. I don't know if they still together. But
They still deal with each other, bro. Don't believe the hype. They still deal with each other.
First of all, I don't know what guys y'all talking to. Don't nobody, man. Yeah, all right, man.
Isaac, you can't just single yourself out. You gotta think.
Hey,
You gotta
take
think
your
about
stuff
everybody.
off a car, bro.
Because a lot of men do not like skinny girls, or they don't like girls that are too big.
I will say this.
I see that a lot.
I will say this.
But wait a minute.
Alicia,
Wait, before we do this, Antoinette, what about what you like? And why is it always with the guy likes and why they are sort of setting the standards? I mean, I understand that happens, but what do you like? What are you into? You know what I'm saying? Like, and then what about you for your personality? I mean, the physical attraction is definitely there. It should be. The flip side is, okay, well, I'm not your cup of tea. We all have features that, may not appeal to everybody across the board, but as they say, every pot got a lid. Anyway, go ahead. Nay, you was going to say.
So I was going to
Yeah, I got
touch
something
more
to
on
say.
Asia. When I was younger, clearly I'm like dark skinned, I'm short, and I'm really petite. Always been this way. So when I was younger, I felt the same way. But now that I'm older, I realize that a lot of guys that I talk to, and especially older men in my family, they were always saying like, I used to want to be like the thick girls in high school, but they peaked real early. So I would always hear from my uncle's friends and like guys that I talk to now, and they'd be like, "You would be the person that I want to settle down with." And even though it's like it's shallow, they'd be like, "Because I know when you have a baby, you're not gonna get that big." Or like when you pregnant, you're not about to blow up or something like that.
Wow.
So as
People
you
actually
get
say stuff
older,
like that to you
yes, as
with
you
a
get
straight face?
older,
Oh
That's
no.
disrespect, actually.
it is. And
It
as
is
you get older, like
disrespectful.
you have to like realize that like some men are really shallow. Even if they don't say it, they're thinking
Yeah.
it. Like they'll look at your mother and say, like, okay, she's not that big. So it's less likely that she's gonna get big when she gets older up in age. So like for me
Wow.
personally, I don't take that as a compliment. But I'm saying when you get older, you'll realize that like,
Oh,
yeah, when dudes are young, they want the Jadas and the girls that shape like Ari because that's a dream girl. Like those girls, they have the rappers, they have everybody fanning over them. So of course they want a dream girl. But as you get older, some dudes is just like, all right, when it come to me actually settling down, I don't want no thick joint. Like I want a girl that's small because I know babies tend to bring on weight. As she get older, she tend to get bigger. So it's like, okay, I want a girl that's already little. So when it comes time
that
for
is so
that, you're not
shallow.
about to blow up
It
and
is.
be like this big person. I've heard that from so many people from the time I was 23 till now. And I never looked at it like that. I never thought it was a compliment either. I still don't. But so
Can
many
I add to
men, as
that?
they get older, they think like that. And it's so weird to me. Oh, go ahead, Alicia.
Yeah. I just wanted to add, like you said something about how like growing up, usually people were like, well, you automatically didn't meet the beauty standard because you said you were dark skinned and you were petite. Is that that's what you said, right?
Yeah, I've always been the littlest person in the group. Always.
Yeah, it's like growing up in middle school, literally, being dark skinned and skinny, it was always like, how kids are mean. It's always, oh, you black, you burnt, you a stick. Like that's literally all I heard in middle school. Oh my god! And it's like it was one point where I was just like, I didn't even like my skin complexion. I did not like my complexion. I didn't like being dark skinned at one point. But it's like when I got to high school, I was just
It
like,
changed
I
for
love
me.
my complexion. Like I was just like I wouldn't trade it for nothing. Like I thought my skin.
That
I
part.
honestly want to be darker.
Yeah,
That
like it's
part.
Like
cool to be
I
dark
say it
skinned
all
now
the
and have
time.
big lips now.
Yeah.
I used to get made
I
fun
say
of
it
having
all the
big lips,
time.
man.
yes, it's like now liking dark skinned people is a trend now. I feel like
Right, but ain't nothing
sometimes.
wrong with your lips. Who was telling you that?
Right.
Man, when I was little, they said I had DSL lips.
Yeah, that's messed up. This is bullying, yo.
Wow,
This is
wow.
bullying. And we have been
Crazy.
made to hate ourselves. So I want to turn the conversation back to why we feel it necessary. And LG, I'm gonna have to leave you on mute because you're whatever that is in the background. You got the window open in the car.
No, ma'am. I don't know. I don't, it keeps muting me and unmuting me. I'm not
Now,
even
I'm
pressing
doing that
anything.
because it's
Oh,
I'm getting too much feedback. Can you turn down your volume or something? Because it's we're hearing too much feedback noise. But I'll leave you unmuted now.
yes, ma'am.
So our self hate is almost predicated on what we see in the media, how they make caricatures and stereotypes of us, blackface, the cartoons and stuff, and then little children and even adults in our family, like Nay was talking about, people like making statements and comments. This is all, or much of it, is driven by what we see on the media. Now, why are we conditioned to believe that what is the impact that the media has on these kinds of our feeling about ourselves? Let's talk about that. Where are we getting these images from? Which shows or what
I would
programs or what kind of programming?
I would
I
say
think it's
when
just
I
from
was
Instagram.
not, I mean,
Oh, go
even
ahead.
but when I was younger, Instagram wasn't around. So I would say for
Mm.
me personally, like I don't know why I always felt like I was so dark. Cause now, like when I tell people, "Oh, I'm dark," and they're like, "No, you're brown." I'm like, "Nah, I'm dark." Like, cause
Oh my
growing up,
gosh,
I
me
was always
too. Me
like
too.
considered the dark one, especially since my family is majority like lighter brown skin tones. So, like, I think the shows that we were watching having less representation of darker skin tones, anything that was darker than a paper bag was automatically dark skin. So it was like when you growing up and you even like with my wife and kids, Claire originally was a dark skinned little girl and then it switched to light skin,
That
curly hair.
mixed girl.
It's
Yeah.
like even now, even still, whenever you have a black family, it always seems to be like that one, like, even if it's a dark skinned dad, the daughter always seems to be like lighter skin, curlier hair. Like it's never straight, just, African features. It always has to be like a little mixture in it, like just to be
Yeah.
fair or inclusive. And it's like real, I mean, most of the black families that I see are straight black. They don't look like they're mixed with Indian or Spanish or anything. Like they're just black. Like it doesn't have to be that type of mixture pot going on. So I feel like that has a lot to do with how people perceive how the family should look or how they should date or what black really looks like. And to me, it's like I'm glad dark skinned people are getting love, but it's more so a fetish to me than it is love. It's like, okay, dark skinned man with
Yeah.
big lips, nice nose, nice eyes, like he looked good. Like the Damson in Idris Elba's and people that look like Bryson, they're getting put on a pedestal, which they should, but it's more so as a fetish than it is like we really appreciate the features.
Why do you think we are divided? Is it deliberately by society to make us divided? Because realistically, if you have various skin tones in your family, well, why are you hating your own family? Who's creating this? Like we really need to talk about the origins of all of this and where it's coming
The
from.
oppressors.
Who would say that somebody who is brown skin? That's like melanin is all of that. You understand that the way melanin is used and that it comes from your pineal gland and that it means that you are the richest human being on the earth because of it. Like, where is the discussion about that? Why don't we hear this? Why would it even be reasonable, rational to make beautiful people feel that they aren't anything, that they're beneath everybody else? Who did that?
It goes back to the house slaves and the field slaves. Like the house
Yeah.
slaves were
We're
treated
talking
better
about
because they had
oppressors.
fair
That's what it
skin
is.
and softer grain of hair. They were more presentable looking, so they kept them in
What
the
do you mean
house.
presentable? You mean more appealing?
I said air quote presentable looking to the owners because most of the time the house slaves were the owner's kids or the mistress that they were sleeping with. So they were more presentable to the public. These are the people that when people of higher power or high up in societal anarchy come over, these are who they see. They don't see the people working out in the slaves room. They don't pay them no money. So they
But
need
let's be
people who
clear.
say that they
Let's
dress
be
up
clear.
and
If the slaves wore rags in the field and they had hats on and just raggedy, excuse me, they had raggedier clothes. But you can dress anybody up, dark skin,
exactly,
brown
that's what
skin,
I'm
deep
saying. But this
complexion
is
dressed, deep complexion dress looks just as nice as light skin dress. Dressed is dress. Dressed
I know
impressed.
that.
I know
I'm
you
saying
know.
that's
I'm saying it for you to think that it's just based on the presentability of their complexion. It isn't that. Again, people who have deep complexions dress very nice, then could cut like a nice stitch in clothing and present themselves extremely well. It isn't just the complexion or anything. Oh, they have softer hair. Like we know how to get down. We're the one that invented style. Let's talk about that, right? So
Dr.
this
Cover
was
don't
just.
push you.
I know you
I
are. I'm
understand
just
that.
saying.
I'm
I
saying
know.
that was, to me, that was their thought process as to why house slaves and field slaves were divided. To me, what you just said, I agree with 100%, and it's the same to this day. To me personally, I love darker skin tones. I feel like darker skin tones look the best in all type of colors, pastel colors, bright colors, everything. We pop
Okay.
more because of the melanin. But back then,
If
I
I could,
feel like that's where it originally stems from as far as a division in family. Because you had some house slaves that were related to field slaves, but they looked down on them because they were in the house and they were taught that you're slightly better. You're still not good enough, but you're slightly better than them because you look different. And that's been passed down for generations and generations and generations. That's why colorism is such a big problem within the Black community.
Why did we pick that up though? We didn't we have if you could sit here and articulate this as well as you did, why couldn't we understand that as well? Algie, go ahead.
I think, man, my opinion is kind of different. I think we do it to ourselves because, like, I don't know if you can hear me.
Yes, we
I
can.
think we do it to ourselves, like, because, like, my family. If you look at my family, we have dark, we have middle, I mean, light skin, we have light skin. I
Rainbow.
don't know. We have everything. Yeah.
Yeah, a
And
spectrum.
like, if you look at my grandmother, like, you probably would think my grandmother's white, but she's not. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just even my daughter. Like, I wish we'd had this conversation 10 minutes ago. I would have showed you my daughter. Like, you would not you'd be like, what? But she looks just like me. She's just 10 shades lighter than me.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
same head, same face, same everything. Like her mother is 2 shades lighter than me or a shade lighter than me. Like
Yeah.
it's I don't know. I think we do it to ourselves because we throw that comparison at each other. Well, I look better because I'm this, and I look better because I'm that. And I think we all do it. Like, I even see in my family that we do it. You know what I'm saying? Like, my kids, like, my daughter's dark. One of my daughters is dark skinned. One of my daughters is light skinned. It's going to take a lot for me to get them to not throw that at each other. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Like,
Yeah.
and that's the one thing that I always focus on. Like, even my daughter, like, my oldest daughter, she's dark skinned. She said to me, Daddy, I wish I was light skinned. And I tell her all the time, oh, baby,
Oh,
you're beautiful at how you are. Like, God made us all how we are. So I think that,
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying? Like, even me, I went bald at what 21. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Mm.
Like, you know how hard that was. Like,
Yeah. Yeah. No,
sometimes
I get it.
just cause. But now I see like it's a thing now. Like you guys are saying, it's a thing. Like I see a lot of people, whatever. It might be because of my age or whatever, but I see younger people that are. So it's like you got to be confident in what you are and what you have.
Yeah.
And
Wish
going
so
back to
many
what we said earlier, I
people.
wish my mic wasn't messed up. Like I don't think, and I don't want y'all to jump on me for this. I don't think that it's fair to put guys like in a situation where for men like. I think everybody has their type. Like if a woman says I don't like short men, well I don't like white
yeah.
men, I don't like black men, I don't like Asian men. I think we all should be able to have our type in your own opinion. If you like
Oh,
light skinned women, you like light skinned women. You like dark skinned women, you like dark skinned women. If you like whatever
Well,
you like, you
tell
like
them,
it.
Algie.
And I think
can I add to
you know what
that?
I'm saying?
I
Even
got
with
something
hold
to
on,
say
hold on,
about
hold on.
that.
Like even me and my best friend, like I got a best friend, we've been best friends for 20 years almost. Like I love women a certain type. Like and my woman resembles that. Like, but he loves women, smaller women, and there's nothing wrong with that. Like, nothing. It's all in what you want and what you find beautiful and what you think is for you. You know what I'm saying? So,
You should
I'm
think
sorry,
that's
but yeah.
I have
Thank you,
something to add
Algie,
about
because
that type.
big guys just started getting love. You feel me? We just started getting love. To be honest,
I agree.
everybody want them a teddy gram or whatever they call teddy bear. Yeah, first off, you feel me? Everybody want one now, but back in the G, you feel me? You was round and rolly and all that. Now everybody want a big guy. That's why all these women crying about other. They feel me? No, I feel for the dark skin. I feel for that. But the girls out here want to get these BBLs and all that. Man, listen, it's stupid. Don't feel bad now. Have that thick skin. Have that thick skin, because I done had to grow up with it, you know. That's why I'm good at packing. I had to pack all my life, you feel me? So I don't feel sorry
All right.
for
Well,
yourself, man.
Isaac,
Nah, you know, I had no sense. You know how many fat jokes I done got? Yo, I could have jumped off a bridge, all them jokes I got, but you feel me? I thugged it. Now look at me. I love me some me. So yeah, you better love yourself.
Period.
Yeah, see, that's what I'm talking about.
oh my goodness.
I will say I don't have a problem with people having preferences. Like for me personally, I don't discriminate, but I love black men, especially chocolate men. That's just normally my preference. But I'm not gonna look at a light skinned person and be like, he light skinned. You just be like, that's not my type.
swear,
Like it just
swear,
be what? Huh?
swear to God, right now.
Swear to God. I will not look at a light skin. I've actually complimented a lot of light skinned dudes and like, oh, you're really cute. Like, but most of the time they're just not my type. But that don't mean like I don't like them or would never give them a chance. If we click, we click. And if you look good, you look good. But typically I go for dark skin. I like full lips. I like darker hues. That's just what I like. But I just don't like when people say I like this person and then despise every other group about it. That's just like when black men specifically date white women and be like, I date white women because I can't stand black women. So you date a race because you don't like another race. That does not make sense. Like, what do you like about them? I could tell you what I like about dark skinned men. I could tell you what I like about black men in general. Like that's not something you follow up with. It don't make sense. But if you say I like, white women, I'm just attracted to them, and it's nothing wrong with black women, then I mean, date what you date. That's to me, I still wouldn't date the oppressor. But to date what you date. If that's you, me personally, but more power to you.
So let's get back to the media on this one.
I,
How does the black community? How does the black community or other people who are marginalized and have their beauty standards evoked and dictated to them? How are we creating counter narratives to set our own standards of beauty in the media, because that's where all this comes from. We don't even know what we like until we get around other media and we see what's good. Like, and then that's kind of influencing everything. How are we creating? Are we doing anything to counter what we're seeing in the media?
Like on TikTok, they be having like black couples pages, and also on Instagram too. You know what I'm saying? So
That's good. Black love is revolutionary, y'all. Yes. Good. What else?
Your pages are
Thank you,
champ.
Bryson. That's good. Like, what you say?
I said most of those pages are champ because they're staged and it's so fake and it's so cringy. Champ in PG terms is like mid, stupid, all the bad terms. It's champ.
Yeah. So you all asked a question about why does the media continue to devalue Black artists and models? That's related. What about that?
Because they don't want to admit we're the blueprint.
Okay. Anybody else?
They don't want us to shine and then have to give us credit for shining and making whatever they do hot. That's why.
They are intimidated.
I feel like
by
Black
us.
women specifically are a blueprint as well. Like, not trying to discredit anybody, but it's like when you think about it, a lot of people have gotten their like style, their inspiration from Black women. Like, literally, I feel
Kim
like gay
Kardashian.
white men, huh?
I said Kim Kardashian, for example.
Yeah, it's like you see all of them with our hairstyles. You see gay white men doing all this stuff with their hands, all of that stuff, talking like us, talking about like I just feel like a lot of people.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like a lot of people get a lot of stuff from Black women, like gay white men, white people in general, anybody else. I feel like Black women are the blueprint, and Black people, period, they're the blueprint. A lot of people get stuff from us, but never want to give us credit for it ever. And it's so frustrating because when you say something about it, like whether it's cultural appropriation or not, somebody will always be like, "Why can't we just wear our hair however we want?" And it's like no one's saying that, but at the same time, that don't make it not cultural appropriation or offensive.
Y'all wear blonde hair.
Yes, and it's like literally blonde hair is not a part of somebody's culture.
I would
Black
never
people
like
be born with blonde hair or blue eyes. They just be saying anything.
In fact, it's a recessive trait, but I'm gonna just leave it there. Moving on, we now have to move to the next segment: media and sports from a diverse Black perspective.
There we go.
Oh my goodness. So in reality, sports is a form of entertainment and is presented in the media. So we have a lot of focus on sports, and then even outside of that, the first question you all presented for this was, in a Black household, for example, is sports a method or a means to grow or to escape in Black households? Do we use it to escape or do we use it to grow? Why do we say this is an escape? What do we get from?
Because just when you look at mostly where a lot of these star athletes are coming from, a lot of them are not coming from privileged backgrounds. They're not coming from neighborhoods that have the proper funding to go to school. They're not getting the best education that they can get. So 9 times out of 10, I'll say 9 times out of 10, but majority of the time, a lot of them are not academically where they're supposed to be. So they're banking on sports to get to where they need to be. Their parents know that, and they don't have the money to send them to get tutors or to send them to a better school district or to do this, that, and the third. So it's like, okay, you get on the field and you play like your life depends on it because we need you to get up out of here. Like, we need you to go to college, and it may stop at college, but we need you to just go. And we know nobody is going to really check for you with where we are right now unless you're playing the sport or unless you're like a super genius and you're one of the two. So you got to go.
Right. Thank you, Nay. Who else?
I agree. I definitely agree. Growing up, football was definitely supposed to be a tool for me to get my family out. You feel me? And that's how it was. And I honestly can say it did give me guidance at the same time, though, because I didn't have that father figure growing up. Like, my father really wasn't there. Like, so it gave me that type of guidance. But I mean, some people, I call a spade a spade. Yo, if you're nice, you're nice. So you'd be a fool not to use it. I mean, go ahead on and use it. I do feel like a lot of parents put it on the kids as their only way. You feel me? Like can't wait to have my son. He went back. Like, bro probably gonna want to play the piano. Like, it's wrong to just jump straight to he gonna play big football. And me personally, I think people crazy because if I had to say my son playing baseball, that them is guaranteed contracts. You feel me? That's my opinion though. But like, yeah, I wouldn't really make my son play that. But you know, but hey, if I had to put a ball in his hand, it'll be the white and red one. But that's my opinion, to be honest. Though.
Is football too dangerous and basketball? Is that what you're saying? Too much risk for injury too?
Basketball is soft. That's what
Football,
it is.
I just think football is too football like cliques in high school. Like if you're not a strong-minded person, if you don't get accepted in that clique on a football team, that could really damage your mental. Like I'm all for mental health. I'm a big advocate for mental health. Yo, I believe sports can damage your mental health, and I'm not talking from CTE. I'm talking about the want to be accepted. Like in football, luckily for me, I ain't nothing. Feel me? I was actually pretty good. So I was a little popular on the team. So with that being the case, like I didn't have to worry about that. But I saw the kids on the outside looking in. Bro, it looks horrible. Like it look like they're not having fun. Like it look like they're just there going in emotions. Like and that's not something I would like to see in my son or any type of kid that I have. Like I don't think it's fair. I think sports is not but a popularity contest, and that really damages kids' mental, especially with how suicide rates going up now. Sports and all that stuff and cliques are the main reason. So if it was up to me, they playing the violin for real. Like I want a doctor or a lawyer. Like to be honest, like to hell with sports with me, and this coming from a person who played sports all his life. But that's just me.
Right. Thank you, Isaac, for that. That's what I'm talking about. Does anybody have anything else to add to that, to what Isaac just said? Anything else?
I would say for what he just said, it's pretty much true. But I think most of the people I know that are heavy into sports, they started when they were young and they built relationships in like AAU and stuff like that. So by the time they got to high school, most of the people that they were playing with, they knew for years. So like he said, I feel like it's more so a popularity contest because from my experience, knowing most of team players and stuff, they knew each other for a minute. And if somebody new tries to come into that bond, it's like you really got to prove yourself. And if you don't prove yourself, then you definitely do get shunned away. And I feel like when it comes down to like high school players and college players, like you need your team the most to like excel. I don't care if you're the star player or not. You can't be the star player on the field. Don't nobody want to throw to you. You're like if nobody blocking you, like you need your team. So like he said, I mean, it do play a big part on your mental, but going back to how it plays into the media, I feel like the media definitely, especially with the way they showcase like black athletes, and then they love to play that little come from like Allen Iverson, come from the hood, all around player, could play football, basketball, single mother, like father wasn't around, and then everybody glorified that, like, oh my God, he came from nothing. And it's like the media loves to play that off, like kids that come from nothing and make something of themselves, when it's not just in sports. People do that every single day. So you have little black kids and little brown kids that's like, I got to do this because like I see myself being drafted one day. It's like, bro, you could definitely be a lawyer.
What about Ben Carson, who made it from school in the projects? His mama couldn't read, but he became Surgeon General. I
used to love Ben Carson. I'm not going to hold you. When he got into politics, it was like, it's over for Buddy. But I used to love Ben Carson. Like did a report on him and everything. Like I feel like every black kid that from Maryland that like knew about Johns Hopkins and him, they had respect for him because the way the media pushed his story, it was like, oh my God. Then you hear him talking when you older and you like, this cannot be bruh that I wrote this cannot be Buddy I wrote that report on in 5th grade. This cannot be him.
Right. Like, okay. So let's go. Let's
where he came from.
Yeah, but I'm saying really his example, not his politics, that he came and scaled up in the field of medicine and not sports.
No, definitely. I feel like they need to, if that's the storyline they're gonna run with, these underprivileged kids, it like, even though the chances for them are slim, they make it out and they can do great things. They can take up trades, make their own businesses, entrepreneurship. I believe if not all of the black billionaires that we have, none of them went to college. I don't even think Jay-Z graduated high school. Kanye went to college but dropped out. Like, so it's just like the media has a way of like manipulating a young mind to think you have to be setting the standard and move this type of way to get the success you want. When it's like, when you really look into it, you do not have to fit into one specific box. You can branch out and do whatever you want to do. And then work hard at it, do what you got to do to get to where you want to go, and you can be successful in your own life as well.
That part. So let's move to this topic. Oh, LG, did you want to say something?
I was just gonna say, like, I think for me, I kind of used it as, I'm not gonna say an escape, but a way to a better way, I guess. Like, for me, it brought on a way where I knew no matter what that I was getting out of any situation that I was already in. And then it was a thing for, I don't know, I didn't like a little bit of what I said. I didn't grow up with a father, so at that time it gave me the honest ability to say he's gonna see me and he's gonna regret it. And
Yeah,
even though I
definitely.
didn't, even though I didn't really make it, I still was able to do that. You know what I'm saying? I still was able to say, you should have been here. Look at what I could have been even more for you to help. So
Mm,
it gave
wow.
me it gave me a way of those things. And now I see that and I know that for myself. You know what I'm saying? I coach with my sons. You know what I'm saying? Like even what they were saying, I ain't let my son play football until this year. He turned 12. So it's like I know the impact of it and I know what it can do. So it allows, I wouldn't say for all or for all, because I know some girls, like even my niece, like she loves basketball. Like she's chose to go to Eastern Shore this year. Like it's different ways. Like my nephew, he passed away. He went to Maryland. Jordan McNair, like he had a
That was
lifetime
your
scholarship
cousin?
at Maryland. That was my
Oh,
nephew.
I'm so mad at what they did to him. Oh my
Yeah,
goodness.
it was my nephew. But it's
You
so
talking
many
about
things.
the one that had the heat stroke?
Yeah,
Yes.
That's
that's my nephew.
crazy,
Yes.
man. My condolences.
It is
Yeah, he
crazy.
went to McDonald's. Right? It's just so many things that is able to provide you and is able to push you and is able to show your family things of, you know what I'm saying? Like my nephews now, they haven't been able to play football. They can only do basketball. And they're triplets. The girl that I was just telling you, the other nephew. So, so many different things and so many different ways. Sports can push you to different paths in life and understanding. You know what I'm saying? Now I work, I get coached, I get paid to coach. Like, it's so many different things that it does for you that you'll never be able to understand. And looking back and being able to even tell some of these stories that I'm telling right now. So
Yeah.
it's really cool.
It's more than just a way out. It's a way of life. And it
Yeah.
does increase personal character. I have seen that in instances where your character increases. So here's a question you all posed. Does professional sports mimic or evoke the concept of a slave mentality or a slave line where or auction block, like when we're talking about the NFL or NBA draft, where the richest people pick the strongest black person? Is
Yes.
that
Yeah,
is that talk
I,
about that?
I
In
think
what way?
I think because in the draft, like a lot of people, you laugh about, but in the draft, like when you were at the combine and the scouts looking at you, they want to know everything about you, like down to the size of your penis. You feel me? Like no funny stuff. Like NFL draft, like you literally gotta sit in front of them, hold your arms out in some drawers, and they want to see everything you have. Like because in their mind, how can we develop you? Like what's his growth level? Like I don't like me. I played in the O line and D line. So a lot of the times, I don't hear Scout talk about O lineman talking about his butt sizes, what's going to help him out, what's going to help him develop and everything. So it really is like it's funny to say, but like it really is like a slave mindset because here it is, they about to dump all this money into you. And really, when you get this contract, you're supposed to shut up and not say nothing, to be honest. Because in their mind, they own you for 4 years. And that's really how it's broken down, though. So I do feel like it's a slave mindset, especially when you got these owners who were alive during the damn Jim Crow law. So you think their mindset went away? No, they just got old. Like they still feel the same way. Like how these owners coming out now, a lot of the owners getting caught using these racial slurs. Man, they been doing it. Like this ain't just happening out of nowhere. That's what blows me. Like, bro ain't just wake up in 2022. You know what? I'm a racist. No, yo, been like that. Like he been like that all his life. So I definitely think it ties back into slavery. I'm not gonna lie.
Mm,
Yeah, it's definitely slavery because all like say like the NCAA, the SEC, like the top schools, you know what I'm saying? The best athletes are black. And like we're going to
D1.
these predominantly white schools.
Yeah.
Instead of why don't we go to HBCUs, you know what I'm saying?
It
Like
be
that's how it
catching
was
on.
at first though. Like
Yeah.
like the HBCU they had all the best players at first, then the PWIs came and they basically stole them away. So
You think they mad with Deion Sanders, Jackson State?
Of course. Of
yeah.
course, they are upset with him. He just got the number one player in the country. They are upset, and mark my words, like I don't want it to happen, but they later on years down the line, they're gonna trying to trap my fellow players, my fellow black people, falling victim to these people.
And it's a
But
money thing
yeah,
too. It's definitely, to me, it's a slave mindset more so because it's a money thing. Like they're going to acquire the best black talent so they can make money off of their backs and then not have to give them nothing. College athletes don't really get anything. Like they don't get.
they get
I mean, well, now it's starting to change, I guess, a little bit in some places, but essentially they were not getting anything. Like that's just like one of my favorite 30 for 30 docs was Michigan, the 5 Michigan players. You had Jalen Rose and all of them,
Yes,
and
yes,
they
yes.
would
The Fab
literally be
Five.
saying like, we dead broke, but we're international superstars. Like we go over to see the China and they looking at us like we're like superstars and we don't even have $5 for a sandwich, and they're working like crazy maniacs to bring home championships for these white people.
For these schools
Could
with
care less
billion-dollar
about them.
endowments. Yeah,
If they
yeah,
didn't
yeah,
have
yeah.
that jersey on, they wouldn't care. They wouldn't care about them for real, for real. So
And
they're
then
using them to pretty much build up their school, pretty much build up their revenue that they're bringing in for the school because everybody wanted to see them. So they're purchasing tickets, they're purchasing gear, they're purchasing all of this, and that's more money for the school itself. It's nothing against,
yes,
oh, I really care about their development and all that stuff, and I want to get them to where they are. Nah, you making money for me. So I own you until it's time for you to get drafted. That's pretty much what it is.
yeah. And not to mention, you make good points, Antoinette. The issue also is that some of those players had gotten tagged retroactively because they had agents who were helping them, giving their parents money, giving them cars, buying them clothes, and that's not even allowed. Like you can't even get help from outside people, even though you
Yeah,
need it.
they had boosters and stuff. Like they had, I don't know if they still do it. I'm sure they do, but the top talents, they had people coming to, their parents' homes, and of course, these people live in the hood. They don't have money, so it's like, slide you this money monthly, take care of you, make sure your son goes to this school because he come to this school is going to be, more money for me recruiting. But it's
Yeah,
nothing for schools who bring in that much money annually to send out those little agents or whatever to these, underprivileged kids' living rooms and have them jazz it up and make it seem like, oh yeah, we're gonna take care of your son and all this other stuff. Meanwhile, their son is literally starving, going state to state playing basketball, and it's like they don't have nothing to show for it. 9 times out of 10, all of them kids not getting drafted. So this is
yeah.
literally the highlight of their life, and they struggling, barely getting back.
Yes. What about injuries? We didn't talk about that. When people get injured and you're discarded and people left to pay the price of the injuries after I've had several athletes in my graduate classes who have said, I got depression, I got, CTE, I got, all this stuff. Well, they don't know if they had CTE, but just too many concussions. And then, the team just cast them off like, oh, well, you can't play anymore. So it's a lot. It's like, athletes are just, whatever, being treated like just units as opposed to people with hearts and souls and other physical and emotional needs that sports is just fast and loose, right?
Yeah, it was the
yeah, and
same with
that's why a lot of athletes big on guaranteed money now. That's why all
Yeah,
the contracts it ain't about they want the guaranteed money.
yeah,
4 years, $70 million contract, and 40 million guaranteed. You gonna get 40 million off the break, even if you suck, like, cause it's guaranteed money. So it's about protecting yourself. And like you said, like all that, like I used to look at people like have a backup plan. Cause if you blow your knee out, man, you just hating, like you just hating. Cause that's the truth, like, cause bro, you literally a play away from ruining, like from losing everything for real. Well, not losing everything, but losing your career. And with that being the case, what you gonna fall back on? So injuries are definitely important. I definitely agree with that. So, I mean, I hope our athletes, especially our black ones, they understand that. Like, and you gotta understand, like you said, it go down to slavery. Like when the slave got hurt, what did they do when the slave got hurt? They put they got you up out of there, on to the next. Same with the sports when it come down to injuries. So I believe it's all ran the same way. I still think America ran off of the way slavery was ran. I still think
absolutely.
we live like, and it's still here. Like, to be honest.
It is. It is. It is. It's the blueprint for everybody else. We were enslaved. They didn't pay us anything. And then they changed it instead of let's pay a little bit of money and then let's replicate it for the entire society, including everybody that's not black. I mean, that's what they've done, really, literally. Let me ask you this. how are Black athletes, men and women, how are they portrayed in the media? What's the image after all of this? So then we're talking about all of this. Then what is the portrayal in the media, and how does that impact what we think and the empathy that our community feels towards Black male and female athletes? Because really, people thinking they getting this big check and that they should be role models, but like, are these things reality? Like, what are these? How is the media contributing to
I'm
these
gonna speak
concepts?
specifically on one of my most favorite athletes ever, Allen Iverson. He was the reason I ever started watching basketball.
Okay,
Allen Iverson, I'm sure all y'all do. He went
you know I'm a
from his
Philly
whole
AI.
he went from his whole fiasco with the whole bowling alley situation. Nobody wanted to deal with him. Then he went to Georgetown, and he still kind of had
First, he
that
went
rough.
to prison. Yeah,
Yeah, that's what I said. He went through the bowling alley situation. He went to prison, and then nobody wanted to deal with him. And then he went to Georgetown, and then he excelled there. But he still kind of had that roughneck image. And then he went to the NBA. Blah blah blah. Me personally, I feel like yeah, he was ghetto. I'm gonna give him that. But I feel like the media made it seem like he was the villain every chance that they got. Like, just like the whole thing about the practice. They chopped up that whole interview that he said and made it seem like I don't have to practice. I'm Allen Iverson. When really he was like, y'all are pressing me about practice when I'm dealing with my own mental issues going on right now. Like, I just had somebody die. Like, I'm dealing with family stuff and y'all really coming to me about practice when I show up and show out for y'all regardless. And I would have the same thing. Like, if I'm your star player, what are you stressing? I'm going through something mentally. What are you in my face for about missing a practice or two? If I'm still performing how I need to perform on it, and that goes back to them thinking that like we own you, like you need to do what we say, you need to act how we want you to act, forgetting the fact that these are still young kids that come from the hood that are used to doing things their way or a separate way than what the corporate world wants them to act or behave. And I hate that for them. Like, Allen Iverson is the reason the dress code was enforced in the NBA, because the way he would show up, they would say it was too ghetto. He was dressing like a rapper. That's what he dressed like before he came to the league. He just now has money, so it's more flashy. Like, to me, I just feel like they do that with a lot of Black athletes, especially top Black athletes. They try to box them in. That's just like John Morant now. He's getting a lot of slack for being, I guess, too show offy or whatever. Like, he's young, he's in the league, he has money. Leave that boy alone. He's doing what he needs to do on the court. He's minding his business. Leave him alone. Like, let him do him. I love when Black people show off. Show off. You deserve it. Like, go all out. Just don't be ignorant, but still show off. You got money, you can't take it with you when you die. These white people, they go out and they buy all this unnecessary stuff, but when we do it, it's, oh, you wasting money. That man got money. Let him do what he do. His family taken care of. He do what he need to do on the court. Mind your business.
It's his money anyway. Why we worrying about it? Why we in his bank? It's his
you
money.
mad you don't have it. Like, mind your business.
Facts. Raheem, what was you gonna say?
Yeah, I was about to say, like, they don't never ever say anything about like the white people, as far as like the dressing or anything like that. Like, they have multiple people that just dress up in the NFL. Like, I want to say, for example, I looked at Cooper Cup, who's actually one of the rising wide receivers now, and he just won the Super Bowl. He actually can dress, but it was certain weeks that he used to just wear whatever he wanted, and nobody ever said anything about him. But it's like whenever a Black person comes with like a chain and something symbolizing something like honoring a player or something like that, they will always have something to say. Or if it had like anything, like she said with John Morant. John Morant is really only getting this slander and all this stuff right now because he is elevating to be probably MVP caliber this season. Like, he's been going crazy all year. So last year they wouldn't even say nothing about Ja. But now they only do that when you're up, or like when you're up and coming with anything. So I agree with what Anthony said. That's why I'm just really trying to piggyback off of.
And another thing that I love that I don't know if everybody else knows, but it really pissed me off. So everybody knows Sha'Carri Richardson, whatever. The track runner.
The track star, right?
Yeah, the track star. So
Mhm.
she had got it was last year, it was the whole scandal. They found weed in her system. She was disqualified, woo, woo, woo. And for me, I'm not excusing anything that she did. I said that was a dumb move. But for me, off rip, I said they're gonna disqualify this girl when I'm 100% sure that there are so many athletes within the Olympics or that qualify for the Olympics that are white, that are on these enhancement pills, that are taking drugs to cope, that do all this stuff, and it gets overlooked. And I said that based off of, everybody remembers the swimmer. I cannot think of his name. Famous
Michael
white swimmer.
Phelps.
Him. He had a scandal, and he mentioned in his interview that there were plenty of there were plenty of other people who were doping, and it pretty much got swept under the rug. Why? Because they're white. So the our community turned on that poor girl last year, and I was just like, "Ooh, look at y'all! Y'all couldn't wait for her to mess up our own people." Just recently, last month, there was a Russian white girl, 12 years old, who got caught actually doping. She was taking some type of enhancement medicine. They said it was for her heart condition or something. She still got allowed. She was still allowed to, go through the trials and everything. And
Did she
she
win
was
a medal?
actually taking an enhancement drug. And they try to
That's
say, okay,
interesting.
well, she's underage. I don't think she was 12. She's probably like 15. They try to say she was underage, so it's up to her agent and all this. No, they know what they were doing.
Double
At least
standard.
smoking weed, that's not an enhancement drug at all. If anything, it delayed her performance. And for her to still be able to run off of weed, that's a talent to me. So I'm just confused as to how, that's why I wasn't up in arms like everybody else was. They're like, oh, she's gonna blow this chain. She just lost her mother, bro. She's dealing with stuff that we don't know how to deal with. She just went from being a nobody to being one of the biggest spotlights in the media right now, and she don't know how to cope with stuff like that. That's a hard thing for people to cope with, especially when they're used to not getting that attention. So they are so quick to shoot us down, especially when we're number one, because they can't fathom us being in the number one spot. And as much as I don't necessarily care for LeBron, A1 player, A1 father, I just hate how he used to cry on the Heat all the time. But I'm so glad that they cannot say anything bad about this man. I'm so glad that it's like everything he does is just big and better than what he did the last time. I just love that for him. And I hope nothing ever comes out that diminishes his character or anything like that. Because Lord knows, they really be trying to get us up out of here. It's so
They
sad.
can't.
Well,
LeBron
if they
did
can't, they won't make
everything.
any money. Yeah.
LeBron did everything. He's the record breaker for every almost all the accolades that's out right now. Like, I ain't even gonna lie to you, but he just surpassed some little. I think he's the top scorer ever or something like that. I don't know, but he has been going crazy all his 18 years of playing. I think he started in 2003. I think.
What about his son coming up in
His
the
son,
NBA?
Bronny, when
Yes.
Bronny comes inside of the league, we're going to see a lot of how old is Bronny?
He's 17. I think he's in his senior year.
17?
Yeah.
If LaMelo is what, he's 19? I think LaMelo is like 19 or 20, and he's in the league right now. So I'm assuming that Bronny is probably going to do 1 year of college.
Yeah.
Coming to the thing, because you can't come straight from high school anymore.
Yes.
And LeBron's going to retire.
Yes.
And yeah.
Wow.
He said he wanted to play at least 1 year with his son, though.
On the same team, too.
Mm-hmm.
So whoever drafts the son is going to get LeBron. He's going to get asked.
I don't think LeBron.
The Lakers are not going to take Bronny, though.
LeBron, but the thing is, LeBron doesn't have anything else left to prove. So even if he goes to a sorry team, it's like he did all he has to do. He just want to play with his son.
Yeah. Yeah.
That makes sense. Is legendary. I think
his
that's what
son
he's
is
going
not
to
as
do.
tall as him. He's only 6'2". All right. So one last question. We got to wrap it up. We're a little bit over time, but you all wanted to ask this question. How does success in professional sports dictate time for your spouse? I don't know. I just thought I'd throw that in there.
I had said that question, but I think that, like I was saying, like people like LeBron that have like such high success in their profession, like playing basketball and stuff. Like, in the NBA, you play games during the week and stuff
Yeah.
like that. It's different for NFL because you train during the week and you play on Sundays. So I don't know how that works as far as like being in different states or anything like that. Because females, well, women, they like being around their spouse and stuff like that, and actually spending time. Like some of these players are actually like married and stuff. So I don't know how they break down their time and stuff. But I really was just curious to see what y'all felt about that.
Whose phone is beeping? I thought it was mine.
It was mine. It was mine.
Are you getting texts?
Yeah.
Okay, so how do women feel about that? Nay and Lasia, what do y'all think?
I feel like in order for it to be successful, really, when it comes to marriage, I feel like most of the time the women have to take a backseat to their man's career. Like they have to dedicate themselves to, how can I say this? They have to try, I don't want to say extra hard, but they have to go the extra mile to make sure that their marriage stays together. And what I say by that, and I'm just using LeBron and Savannah as an example because he credits her a lot for their strong family unit because he's away a lot. So she has to be the mom. She has to be she's a single parent essentially, but she has to take on the house duties and all that stuff while he's away. And she also has to take care of him when he's back home, especially if he's, ill or something like that. And that's a full-time job. Like, and a lot of people don't realize that. And a lot of women are not up for that task. They just think it's all glitz and glamour and money and all that stuff. And it's like, no, you have to be that personal trainer sometimes. You have to be their push. You have to be their therapist. You have to be the mother. You have to be the wife. You have to wear all these different hats. And I feel like the women that can successfully do that, they deserve a round of applause. The girlfriends are something different. I don't think a lot of the girlfriends or the flings are going to put in that much time without a ring. So I see why a lot of single players run through women the way that they do, because nobody wants to deal with that. Like, if you have a ring and you're married to somebody that's in the league, any league, it's like, okay, at least I'm doing all this for a reason. If you're just a girlfriend, it's like you either going to press him for a ring, or it's just like, it's not going to go anywhere. So you're not going to put in that much effort.
Yes. Well said. Well said. Anything else to add? Anything else to add about the media and sports from a diverse Black perspective before we end?
I got one. I know the last thing she was talking about was the one about like how the relationships or something.
Yes.
I feel like us as Black people, we got our favorite relationship, the LeBron thing. I think LeBron, because you feel me, like him and his wife, like that's Black love. Like my man don't have no cheating allegations. He a great father. You feel me? Like we got
NDAs.
Like we got everything. Like he built a school. Like, and his wife bad. Like bad. So like
Savannah is gorgeous.
Like Shorty look good. Like, so hey.
And they were high school sweethearts. So he been with the same woman that,
Man, he was knocking stuff down. I ain't gonna lie, he was knocking stuff down in high school. But I feel that though. I love that.
He was.
Like, you feel me? But like, yeah, but she looked good though.
And
she natural. Bro. And she natural. Like, I'm hoping she is, but like
Black love is revolutionary.
And she's quiet and just get to her own bag. She ain't out here embarrassing him. He ain't out here embarrassing her. If they do anything, it's behind the scenes how it's supposed to be. We don't know their business, thank God. Like, I feel like couples like Steph Curry and Aisha, they get on my nerves. Like, why are y'all always talking? Like,
let my wife tell me she want to see if she still got it.
What's going on in your bedroom? What are you for? What? Like,
it's not even Steph Curry. It's Aisha.
She wanted to know if she still could pull men.
But nobody likes to talk about how the Gabrielle Union be talking about their personal bedroom business every chance.
Gabrielle Union been a freak though. We already knew that.
But we don't care to know it.
No, that's Will and Jada.
That's what been a freak.
Like, we already knew that. She already was out here. Like she make a book. Like, we already knew these things.
I love when he didn't know much about celebrities. Like, I love that.
She a lawyer today. We already know that.
Isaac brought up a question in our group chat. I don't make this quick.
Yes.
I
Oh
didn't
yeah,
read
yeah.
the responses to what they said about it, but I wanted to ask this: do you think that you can be friends with an ex?
Hmm. I think it depends. Yet my inclination is no,
Why?
especially if you moved on and got another situation, because there's a history there. And the thing
See,
about having a history is that if people see me, I'm the type, I'll just move on and that's it. I'm not going to be like dipping back and being, not even dipping back as in getting back into anything physical, but just even keeping the conversations going on because there's a reason why we didn't last. Now, some people can move on and have a good relationship with their ex, but I tend to think when it's over, it's over, and you need to just go ahead and move on with your life. That's my
When
thing.
I think you can be friends.
You
you
do.
could be friends, but I'd be sick.
y'all
Like, could
can
you
be
imagine
friends, but y'all don't need to be hanging out alone all the
that?
time.
Hanging
Like
out
y'all
is a
eat some
I
rocky
don't
roll ice cream. She
like
could be like, remember this used to be our favorite ice cream back in the day. Now you got now you shooting your shot. Like, that be the problem
no.
when you thinking of the
She
old
trying to
times, yo.
reminisce.
No, ain't none of that. No, like you
Oh,
can be friends. Like I'm with it. You can be friends. But I'm believe, yo, like as men, yo, our natural instinct is, we opportunists. Like the opportunity of it'll be something dumb. Y'all could be on y'all way to the store. Boom. Y'all drive past one of y'all favorite spots. Remember we used to sit right there, then boom. Next thing you know, you thinking about all the good times and shit. Now I gotta clear the whole block out because you playing with me. Like you feel me? Like it's stuff like that. Like you can't
What
let
does clear the whole block out mean?
all
I
right.
mean,
Let me be more
that's
specific. Do you think that you should be friends with him, like while you're in a relationship? Because now you can do that when you're single. Like you can do all that reminiscent stuff while you're single. But
call
I'm
me
talking about
childish.
if
I know my
I'm like
girl. I know I ain't my
relationship.
girl first. You feel
As
me?
long as it's
But I don't want to know.
boundaries,
I don't
it
want
got
my
to be
girl to be cool with
boundaries.
Nah,
somebody. You
you
feel me?
said
Like the thought
boundaries.
in my
Like
mind, like yo, he saw my lady. Like
this.
you feel me?
This,
Like
this is my thing. I get why men
Exactly.
feel that way
Yeah.
because I get it. I get what y'all. I won't never say you shouldn't feel that way. Me personally, I feel like again this came with age because I used to think exactly like that. I
wife
know
is in
of
trouble.
people who have relationships and they've had relationships with people for years and they've developed relationships with each other's family, each other's friend groups, so they're very integrated and then they break up. And then they don't talk to each other for, years, months, or whatever. They get over each other and they get in new relationships, but it's no hard feelings. It's just like it's history there, but it's no hard feelings. I don't want you, you don't want me. Boom, it is what it is. But I feel like Alasia said, the hanging out stuff, and like Isaac said, the hanging out stuff, to me, that's dead. But being cordial and being cool, it's
oh, she went out.
because you still are cool with things or something like that. That does not bother me. That to me, that's maturity. It's like I can see you and not feel no type of way. I can wish you well, you and your girl. Like it's nothing. Me personally, though, I'm not hanging out with an ex. We're not going to the grocery store together for what? If you want to pay for some groceries, you can send me some money. We don't have to talk and ride together to the grocery store or nothing like that. We don't have to do that. We don't have to go out anywhere and have the chance to reminisce. What are we reminiscing for? It's nothing there. So it's like Alasia said, as long as it's boundaries, I don't see why I couldn't be friends or associates. Like have boundaries in place and let them know if I have somebody, don't ever disrespect my person because I'm gonna always ride for them. So like if you go hard for your person, I don't see why your ex can feel the need to even
Wait,
want to even think they could overstep and disrespect them, even going smack at you or saying something out of turn to you. Like have that boundary in place. And if you know you have an ex that just don't care, cut them off completely. Like be respectful. If you have an ex that has act like they have sense, then it's okay. If you know your ex is still on you like that, cut them off. It's very simple. Like it's people make it more difficult than it need to be. It don't have to be that difficult.
I
all
think
right. But like
I
you were
think we just gotta
saying,
think of your
but
what's your purpose in it. Because sometimes you have to. I mean, in my experience, sometimes it's better to have a friendship with a person than not, especially in certain situations where you have to be around that person. You might need to see this person. Like, what's your reason for it? I'd say. You know what I'm saying? Like, not really every time is going to be that. You got to be honest with yourself. You know what I'm saying? Like you said in the beginning, most time when you move on for a reason. So when you be honest with yourself and you say, maybe I'm friends with this person so that we can have a better life for our kids, or we can get things done together. Or it might be a family member who you really don't consider a family member, but you need to be their friend for the better purpose of your parents or your family, whoever. Sometimes it benefits you to have a relationship with the person. You might need a network. 10 years later, that person might be the person who gets you a job or something. You never know. So
Exactly.
I just think
And
it's
like,
all within.
just to pinpoint on that, I know Isaac made a joke earlier when I said like my ex is still cool with my mom and stuff. That's because when we were dating, certain family things had took place. And but listen, certain family things had took place to where I was at work and I couldn't get to them. So he got to them for me. He still kept that relationship. So just in case, like now we don't talk every day, we're not cool like that. But I know dealing with what I have to deal with when it comes to my family, if there were one person I could call in place of like me not being able to be there, I would hit him because he already know what's going on and be like, look, I need you to do this for me real quick. It'll take like 10 minutes of your time. Just check on them and get back to me about it. And he'll go do it. Other than that, it's really no reason for us to keep in contact. Like he keep in contact with my mother more than he keep in contact with me. Like they'll do their own thing before he hit me for anything. And that's because they have their own separate relationship. But other than that, like Algie said, like it's no reason for me to keep in contact with no other ex. Because for what?
But let me ask you this: could you imagine at your wedding day? I'm telling you, this is how it's gonna play. You at your wedding day, you feel me? The real son-in-law is to your right, left, or whatever, and your mother and your ex come and hey son, yo, what?
Why would you be invited to the wedding though?
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. Everybody gonna be
that's crazy though. That is crazy.
Why would you even invite me to the wedding? We ain't that cool. That's too much.
Exactly. That's what y'all not understanding. That's what y'all not understanding. You could be friend. I consider Raheem a friend, but I don't. You hang with Raheem. I never even met Raheem outside of class, but I consider him a friend just because of the conversations we could have. Like it's different. Like I don't. Isaac, I would consider Isaac a friend, but I've never met y'all even outside in person to do anything with y'all. If I got married today or tomorrow, y'all not coming to my wedding. Like,
but I mean, your ex coming.
Oh wow! Please, the disrespect.
He's
you ain't even say you ain't say
we can go get some
you know when you have wedding guests, you basically paying people to see you get married, right? Ain't nobody doing that. I know y'all. I just found out with Carl Raheem job. Yeah, I don't know that nigga.
Oh yeah.
I don't know, yo.
That's what I'm saying. But it would be no reason.
But if I was to see Isaac on the streets, we would talk. But it's like,
I mean, yeah, that's what's up. But that don't mean you get an invite to the wedding. But you don't even know how my girl looks. So how you gonna see us walk down the aisle? You don't even know her. But seriously though, Anthony, on some real talk though, I really hope for that maturity you have because if my girl ex walked in the room and called her mother, "Hey, mom,"
but see, the thing is this. I don't ever. It's never been a time where he's been in a room where somebody I'm talking to was in the room. Like I said, if we're respectful of it, no, my mother not like that. We're respectful of
you got good plan. You got to, if you know, the older generation, they slick out the mouth.
Before they even do anything, she'll let me know. Oh, such and such hit me. Da, 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 da. And I'm like, I don't care. Do what y'all do. It's not like no. Oh, come over. Nah, she's not like that at all.
You don't pop up.
I flip tables. We're not doing that. So. The thing is, as long as people are respectful, that's why I said boundaries. So if I'm dating somebody, if I'm talking to somebody, it's no reason for him to be nowhere near me. Like, it's no reason we already don't communicate on a daily basis. It's not off, no, oh, let's go hang, chill, stuff. No, it's just when I see you, what's up? How you been? Like, it ain't no hard feelings.
Oh, okay.
That's all it is.
It would be the you look real like you look real nice today. Oh my God, Tom is doing you right. Instantly, I'm thinking you're trying to flirt with my lady. Like, because what do you mean by that? Like, I have used that line before, and I knew what I meant when I said that. So for me to hear that, and then could you imagine being next to you? Oh my God, you look so nice today. What are you saying? I'm right here, like
I'm the same way.
And you feel me? And it could be my own guilty conscience because you feel me? Like we all know what it's like to be like, you feel me? As a guy, I know what it's like for that guy to be when your lady getting cheating behind your back. You feel me?
Yeah.
Oh, that's embarrassing, bro. Could you imagine walking in the room and everybody
I don't
laughing
even,
at you.
but see,
They
the thing
laughing
is,
at
I don't hug dudes. I don't do like, I'm very like, so if
I don't do that
somebody even try
either.
to walk up on me and do something like
You
that, I'm like,
don't
bro,
hug
what you doing?
dudes.
Like, it's like, don't even, nah,
No.
it's
I
not
mean, it
doing
could be
that.
side hug, but I'm
I
not
mean,
comfortable
if
giving
you the
guys
friend,
real
like if
hugs
you the,
unless they're my friends.
I don't hug
If
my
you're
guys.
if you're in a
That's
relationship, ain't no
the thing.
need to hug. You can give a dap or pound.
Turn left.
You could just say hi. You don't have to touch them at all. Like,
but you feel me? Like it just it's why it's complicated, yo. And it's guys and females out here that's literally messy. Like they really enjoy it. Like yo, like for real. Like I just came from an event out Bowie. Yo, I was sitting there. I had my girl with me. We was there for like 2 hours. Yo, the girl gonna finally turn around. Hey, ain't you Ike? I said, oh. So I'm like, and here go me not paying no mind. I said, yeah, what's up? Then I look to the right. You know, you feel the eyes on you. I said, boy, I promise you, there ain't nothing like that on everything I look. But it looked crazy because the girl was messy, and now I gotta go home. Now I gotta buy some sunflowers and all that in the third to show you that you feel me. Like it's nothing really going on. But really, it's people out here really praying on your downfall. Yo, like for real. like
nah,
yo,
for real though. He ain't lying. Hey, I ain't
like
gonna
for
lie
real,
to
trying
you.
to mess
Just
up
a
my little
small.
happy home for real. Like you tripping. Like it took years to build this foundation, and you trying to ruin it. Like it took years. Like
That happened. That actually happened to me, bro. I
for
was in the
real.
store and my ex was at the register, and I was with my current girl at the time. She had
why you
said
getting the
my
line?
name, like, huh?
Why you
Why
getting
you
the
ain't
He
do
line?
probably
self
ain't know
checkout?
until
Why
he
you
got
need
up
to talk to
there.
the register, yo?
I
Why
didn't
you ain't
know.
do
I
self
swear to
checkout?
God, I didn't know. I ain't have no contact with her. She
Self
had
checkout, bro. Could have avoided
right.
everything.
I
You knew
had
that
went.
girl was
I
there.
had
Exactly.
went to. I went to a register type. I didn't know it was her at all. I swear to God. And I had my girl behind me, but she said my name. She said my name twice. I'm like, who is that calling me? So
So
I
she
just walked,
geeking.
and she was right there. And she's like, how you been? And then she's looking at me crazy, like, who is this? Like, you know how girls don't be saying nothing until y'all
I would
like
have
get
asked and
in
said, he's
the
been
car
blessed
or
and highly
something.
favored. Who are you?
Right. Like she kept looking at me. I'm like, oh man, here you go. And like he said with the flowers and stuff, I ain't give her flowers, but you feel me? I
You
just
could have got
had
some
the
supermarket
energy.
flowers on the way out.
My whole thing is this, Raheem. You did that to yourself because easily you could have
I
just been
didn't
like,
do that to myself.
"This my
She
girl."
seen it
Like
and
you could
said
have
something to
just
me.
straight away, "This my girl
Moved
right
it
here."
over.
Like ignore it.
Moved it over.
Not acknowledge my girl because that's
But I
gonna make
didn't
every
entertain the
girl sick.
conversation. I ain't finished what I was saying. I didn't entertain the conversation. Like other
But
than
you
that,
not
she said my name. I
entertaining
was
it
like,
make
oh,
you
what's
look
up?
guilty. That's the thing. Like you trying to side pass and just be like, "What's up?" and ignore her. It's like it's making you look like you got some dealings with her, especially if a girl is messy. All you had to do is be like, "Oh, what's up with you? This my girl, girl,
But she was
like
definitely messy.
But
She
now
just
you
exactly."
don't
And
have
wasn't.
that's
either one of them.
when you
But
get
I
older,
didn't.
you
I
realize a
swear to
lot of
God, I
stuff
would
that you
not went to
trying
that
to do is
register
just
if
easily
it wasn't.
bypass
It was the
it.
only thing not available.
All right, everybody, we're going to end on that note. We will table this till next time. I'm going to see everybody on Monday. Remember, it's the chapter summaries on Monday when we get to class at 1:00. This has been wonderful, great, extended time, but lots to
Well,
talk about. So thank you all for your time of
real
participation
quick,
and
real quick, real
sharing your
quick,
thoughts.
real quick. Dr. Coverage, we just want clarification. So I keep getting notifications that the online classwork is due, but you told us don't purchase the book for that. So did
Yeah,
you
that's
just
right. Leave that alone. Just ignore that. Don't worry about it.
okay, okay. I just want to
All
make
right.
sure.
All right. You guys, thank you. Enjoy your weekend, and I'll see you on Monday at 1.
All right.
Bye.
Bye, everybody.